1832, PNG Jewellers is one of the oldest and most reputed brands in India. From a small store 2 centuries ago to a chain of showrooms today, they've come a long way. On Unlisted Jewels, we speak to the managing director, Saurabh Gadgil, to find out what it takes to survive and thrive for over 2 centuries. The secrets of success that have been passed down for over 6 generations and the passion that it takes to create such a brand. You're watching Unlisted Jewels and I am Hiral Desai. It actually reminds us of legacy because when I read this, the jeweler since 1832, it's 185 years coming in there. What generation are you first? That's what I want to know.
I'm the 6th generation of the family business. This was started by the Gadgil family, and it started as Purushottam Narayan Gadgil, which was the founder's name, way back in 1832 in a small city called Sangli. Sangli was a neighboring city of Kolhapur, and at that point of time, sugarcane was Kolhapur and turmeric was Sangli. So it was actually Saha Gully, like 6 gullies was what Sangli was. So a small city.
It's been a commodities market.
It was always a commodities market, and it was a market for business.
I think you transformed it into a gold market.
It's been very, very... See, Maharashtra had this entire belt of Western Maharashtra, which was known for agriculture. And Sangli, Kolhapur were the belt, which was the prosperous belt at that point of time. And this is where we started from. The legacy goes that we used to go on the streets of Sangli from 1800s, and that point is gold sold in like half kilo, 1 kilo. So there were no grams. It was like 250 grams, half kilo, 1 kilo.
So the trends have changed because the way prices have moved up. Is that the scene?
So when we started, the rate was 1 rupee a gram of gold, which today is 30,000 rupees a gram. So that has been we have seen the rate from 1 rupee to 30,000 rupees. And it's always been, a family-run business. It's been from Sangli, we have moved elsewhere. But the base was Sangli, and the family which was doing that was always involved in this business. So I think as a family, as a business, we've always been in gold. Like you say, there's a passion for it. We like it. We love it.
But, it was passion for your generations, for your ancestors at some point in time. For you, you've studied abroad, you've done your MBA. Was this always something that you wanted to get into?
See, it was like a combination of things because we moved to Pune in 1958. And in Pune, there was a road called Lakshmi Road, which was the main street of Pune. And we used to stay opposite the store. So as a child, I've been always going to a store. I used to, for the festive season, go to a store, to count money. When I was a kid, I used to go and pick up some jewelry, come back home, and at night, mom used to give it back to a store. So there's been an interaction with the store right from my early days. Though there was never a force from the family to really look at that business. As a child, I was encouraged to do what I had to do. In 10th standard, I was among the topper in the board exams, and I was given the option of doing science, commerce. But that point of time, I used to play chess quite seriously, and I was the state champion and in the national junior team. And I was like, there was family business. Somewhere in mind, it was like, let me do commerce. And that's how I did my commerce education. I did my MBA later on. But there was never a force from the family to really look at business.
Interesting one over here is you just mentioned you're a national chess player. How do you relate that to business? I mean, is business like a game of chess?
So I think life is like a game of chess. Not even business. It's like, see, chess really teaches you to look ahead. So like in life, they say, don't take decisions based on today. Take decisions which are going to be affecting tomorrow. Same way, be a little more passionate, a little more patient. All these things you learn from chess. So what you really learn important here is how to not just think about yourself, but think about people around you. So in life, it can be your people around you. In business, it can be competition. So what do you do to have one move ahead of them? What is the ultimate goal? How do you reach that? The importance of patience, the importance of planning. All this, I think, laid a foundation from my chess days.
Moving from there on, if you go to see, this is legacy business. It's a traditional business.
It is.
What is that one thing that you've carried from legacy as a part of your business from your ancestors? Because there is change that you've got. You've got change in terms of the way you're marketing the business, the expansion that has taken place. what is that legacy, that one legacy bit that you've carried with you along?
See, my grandfather used to always tell me that, there are three things in life in business which you should not compromise on. In business, it's about trust, it's about loyalty, it's about the fundamentals. So, there can be things happening here and there. Somebody may come and do some short-term thing.
Correct.
But it's about sticking to your own principles, your own values. I think this is what has been the biggest takeaway from the entire legacy.
One important factor in terms of being jewelry business is the kind of designs that you're working with. Do you still follow the pattern of where you have goldsmiths who sit, design for you, or it's done very differently now?
See, there are people who have different ideas of buying jewelry. There are some people whose entire focus is jewelry as an investment.
Right.
For them, designs don't matter, the cost matters. Then there are some people who are highly design oriented, who would want a design which is very important for them because it's for occasion,
right.
It's for the costume. So we cater to almost everybody. So, in old days, as you rightly said, the people were jewelry was more of a commodity. So it's like, I don't care about designs.
Correct.
There are very few people who care about designs actually. Now it's the other way around.
Right.
Its designs are now seen by people in a big way, in a different way. And also, there's no design generalization left now.
Correct.
So a North Indian may look at design from South India. There will be somebody who's a Punjabi who look at Maharashtrian design. A South Indian will look at Bengali design. So it's all become a mixture now. So definitely.
So no one wants to continue their tradition in terms of jewelry.
It's not mix and match.
Correct. That's what people want to do.
It's both ways. It's like a big. So it's like a big football ground now. The zone expanded now. So as a jeweler, now you're playing in a limited field. Now you're playing in a whole big field. But that means you also have to make extra efforts to satisfy more number of people.
Right.
But which is challenging, and designing now has become like a thing which is no boundaries, no holds.
Correct.
You can have anything and everything working for people. People nowadays, wear a traditional piece on a jeans. You can have a traditional dress with a very modern piece to it. So it's absolutely open.
But so are you a part of the designing
Definitely.
campaign?
If you look at it, design is what is going to attract people and is going to get new client coming to you. Because now most of the norms are standardized. So purity,
correct.
These kind of things are now standardized. The days have gone where people used to say that, okay, I'll go to a jeweler only because I trust him. Now there are standardized measures, the hallmarking, the certification. So now what really gets people to come to you is the connect, that means service you give, and designs.
So tell me, currently what's the trend? Because you have gold. Earlier, diamonds was not something which really everyone used. It was gold. Then you have jadao, you have kundan, uncut, and now it's diamonds as well. From this, where do you think is the trend moving towards?
So I think the trend is specifically moving towards now, there isn't like a gold or diamond as a category now. It's more towards, do I want something which is lightweight? Do I want something which is more of a functional,
correct.
Like a standout piece? It can be anything.
Anything.
So if you want like a striking piece, it can be gold with kundan, it can be jadao with color stones, it can just be a heavy diamond bangle. So people now look at it as a thing, what is the occasion for it?
Right, but if you see the trend, is westernization impacting it? Because young generation, you don't see too many people wearing jewelry on a daily basis like the way our parents, our forefathers, our ancestors, wore jewelry.
I think it's the extreme of world now. You find people now who are, design-wise, you find people now who are extremely traditional,
right.
Extremely modern. So what is traditionally extremely, which was outdated in the 1990s, is now come back. And it's like sought after. It's very rare. It's extremely traditional. Then there are designs which are extremely modern, something which was geometric shapes,
correct.
Which are more in Europe, which has now come back here. So India, the market now has both ends to it. Look at India, look at even state-wise.
Right.
Rural, urban are important.
Right.
As for that, you need to identify what's the buying population which comes to your store.
So quickly tell me on this. For PNG, what have you been known for?
If you look at the legacy of what you're known for, it's been like, because we are there for 185 years now, we have customers from all profiles. Right from you'll have a rickshawala who'll come to buy from us, to a CEO, to a industrials, everybody. One thing people talk about us, is about the designs and about the quality, the goodness of it. So I would say what we are known for is the experience.
Now that you've moved up, one level, earlier PNG probably 4, 5, 10 generations ago, 6 generations ago was not a brand per se. You've come in, made it a brand. How has the journey been in terms of a brand building is concerned?
So I'd say there were like I would say there are 3 phases to it. One was the Purushottam Narayan Gadgil phase, which became Pune Gadgil when it came to Pune. Now, Pune Gadgil was the abbreviation of Purushottam Narayan. People thought it was Pune means Pune, and that's how the whole thing happened. And when I came in the late 90s, 1998, 99, the journey happened from Pune Gadgil, PN Gadgil to PNG. And I said PNG became a brand. And this was how we said, the brand needs to have a different identity. It needs to have its own color, it needs to have its own character, its own, logo, the entire store facade. Then we went on to have, brand ambassadors.
So your journey in terms of branding goes, you made it PNG when you entered. From there on, what were the challenges that you faced in bringing the brand? Because there are so many players. It's a flooded market in the unlisted space as well as in the listed space. How did you do that?
When you come from no baggage, it's like, when you compete without any expectations, it's always easy. Like they say, when you have expectations. So we came as an unknown player. We were city-centric, Sangli, Pune. So there were no expectations. So one way, it was easy to do that. Second, we said, okay, what are our strong points? Make a list of that strong points. Work on those. So we said, okay, legacy. How many people are there which can talk on legacy of 6 generations? How many people can talk about customer relationship with people for 4 generations? So we started a whole story on our karigars who are with us for now 100 years. The grandfather, the father, the son. Customers who are with us for generations now. So we have the grandmother, the mother, the daughter. So all these help building the brand. As we grew nationally, we had Bollywood stars endorsing the jewelry brand. We expanded beyond the country. We did a lot of things
98 is when you joined.
Yeah.
How many stores did you have when you joined business?
We had 1 store, which was...
How many stores do you have today?
25. So, if you look at the entire journey, it's been the first 5 years of the journey, we spent really on getting the basics right. Because like they say, to start anything new, you need to get the basics. Business is about doing something good and just letting the legacy go on. That was always the customers come to you.
Right. One thing what I noticed over here, we are just walking about is, apart from jewelry, you have a lot of other ancillary stuffs from gifting items. You have frames. The other things that I see is in terms of silver. How is that business?
See, silver is a big business and we have been doing it. So we're one of the few chain stores who have silver as a serious category. I think silver, we have been doing it for the last 100 years now. And there's a new market which is home decor market. A lot of people buy silver for home decor. So this is what you're seeing right now is a part of home decor. There's silver for puja articles.
That's right.
Then there is silver for corporate gifting. A lot of companies, reward their employees, reward their, success by buying, gifting silver things. So silver by itself is a big category which we cater to. We do customized silver articles in a big way, along with gold, diamonds, platinum, and which I think is a very, very big market. So gifting, self-consumption, home decor, puja, the list goes on and on.
In terms of your brand ambassadors as well, you associated the ambassador with a certain type of jewelry. Right now also I'm seeing, the kind of jewelry that is placed here. But tell me, which has been one of your favorite pieces?
So I always talk about, this cocktail ring. If you look at the ring, it talks about the diamond evolution. So from a carbon, if you look at the black diamond, they signify carbon.
So that's where the diamond comes
is
from.
created. So this is one of the rings which I really have a lot of affinity to. It involves a lot of designing. It's got a lot of character to it. It's got movements to it. And it talks about the entire... Yeah, it all moves this way. And it's got the story of a diamond. How a diamond is made from a carbon. So I like this kind of pieces.
Is this something that you've designed?
Exactly. Then we have one more ring which we recently done last year, which I had on the whole idea of Bombay skyscrapers. So it was called the Bombay ring. It had ring which had again a cocktail ring, which had like a high-rise building kind of a structure to it. And it showed how we came from a small city and now we're in the city of Bombay.
So you're trying to replicate what you've done in business from where you emerge into the kind of jewelry that you come out with.
You actually portray yourself as. If you look at what is design, it's what you believe in. So when I go and buy design, something which I can identify myself with. So so every design has to be individualistic. So I really feel that even as a consumer, when you look at design, it's something that has to appeal to that particular person's personality. There's no standard design which is good and bad. Anything which is which you like, which you can carry off, is a good design.
Right.
And that's how, if you look at designs here.
Then I should ask you what's going to suit my personality and take something from here accordingly.
What you're wearing is good enough for you. But design, I think, is a very, very open area, and it's about your confidence. What makes you look good, what you carry is good for you.
Good for you. Correct. Moving from there on, how do marketing spends work for you? Because it takes a lot to build a brand. It takes a lot. You have to invest. How do you manage that? Is it a self-funded business, or do you even take investments?
See, as of now, we are a privately held business. It's all self-funded, internal accrual and bank funding. Going ahead, expansion-wise, we will have to look at, maybe private equity or maybe listing in some years down the line.
So my question to you, in fact, was going to come that, this is a show which we call it Unlisted Jewels.
Yeah.
So then the right question comes to you, when do you become a listed jewel then?
See, I think we need to be, currently we are in 3 states of India. We are in Maharashtra, we are in Goa, Madhya Pradesh.
Right.
I think as a business, we need to be at least in 7 to 8 states. We need to be a nationally, player. We have having presence in at least 7 to 8 states. And I think in the next 3 years, we should be able to achieve that. So maybe by 2020 is what, 2020, 2021 is what I think we should be able to hit the market if things go well. Because I personally see that now is the time when organized retail will come in picture. With GST coming in, with a lot of norms coming in, transparency, retail is going to get organized now, more and more.
See any price increases on the back of GST? Probably not I'm not talking from the commodity itself, but in terms of where making charges are concerned or anything like that.
A lot of these provisions, a lot of input credit is going to be given to jewelers. So if you look at the entire rate at 3%, it's not a big, it's
not
not
a big
what we
jump
expected.
coming in
Yeah,
there.
it's not. On the labor charges also, they have seen we are initially 18%, now come to 5%.
Now it's come down to 5%.
So I really don't see inflation happening on jewelry front. Yes, there would be a lot of compliances, and we need to see how it unfolds for the smaller karigars, how they can cope up with documentation, because the industry is labor intensive. The industry is to a large extent taken care by small manufacturers, small karigars, a lot of handwork. So that we need to see how it will unfold. But I think going ahead, it will take some time to stabilize, but in the long run, it's going to be good for everybody.
Right. You just mentioned in terms of social media, the world is shopping. E-commerce is the way to go right now. What are the kind of steps that you are taking to move to that e-commerce platform now?
We are already there on the platform the last 2.5 years.
But does that actually convert to sales?
See, e-commerce helps in 2 ways. One is it helps you sell smaller items or commodity items like bullion, which sells good on e-commerce. We don't have the kind of stuff like an e-commerce company would do, like a Blue Stone or Carrot Lane, because their business is only e-commerce.
Correct.
For us, e-commerce also works as an omni-channel kind of thing. What we do is, we have an e-store where all the store inventory listed there. You can pick and choose what you want. You can pick a location where you want the inventory to be seen and physically come and see the inventory and buy it here.
Okay.
So what helps is...
But that happens at your particular store
there's something
itself.
in Goa, there's something in Indore, there's something in Bombay, and you're saying, how can I go to all these places?
Correct.
So what you can say is, you can pick and choose. I want this necklace from Goa, I want this from Indore, I want this from Bombay.
How do you manage that?
It's all done through the system. So we have an omni store.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Yes, you told me that there will be listing plans for your company by 2020, 2021 is something that you are looking at. You told me the kind of regions that you want to reach. Right now you're at 25 in terms of number of stores. What's the target in the next 5 years in terms of number of stores?
I think you should be around 75 to 80 stores.
Is that aggressive?
See, it all depends upon how much can you leverage your own strengths in. I don't think aggressive, because you need to plan for that, and it's anything which is done unplanned is not aggressive. I think it's stupidity. So what we're saying is it's not only India. US as a market is big for us. There's Middle East, there's Southeast Asia. So it's a combination of all these things put together.
So you're saying 75 stores will be across geographies, not only India specific?
It won't be in an ad hoc way. It's not about numbers. It's about having numbers with profitability.
So tell me one thing. India is something probably in certain states where you have major presence in. You mentioned a couple of states where you're looking to enter. But if you talk about international geographies, where do your strengths actually lie in terms of international geographies?
See, we are one of the oldest Indian jewelry chains in US. So we're there from 2008. So we have a strong customer base in US. We are there in the West Coast, in California, now we're also on the East Coast. US is a big country by itself, so US can easily accommodate 10 to 15 stores. Same is the case, we only have 2 stores in Dubai right now, so the entire GCC market open, which can be, so you can have 10 stores there in GCC. And then there's Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia. So among all this, you can have, so say you want to do 50 more stores. From 50 more stores, 20 can be outside India and 30 can be in India.
So overseas business, is it a high margin business compared to a domestic business, or it's vice versa?
I think a little higher margin, but if you look at the risk which you carry overseas, I think the business
it negates it.
Kind of is on the same level. But you can do with lesser inventory, you can do with lesser competition. So advantage which you look at there. So bottom line wise, you'll spend less there than here, because here there's more competition. Here you'll end up spending more on inventory. Customers expect more here. The Western world wants lesser variety, and they want quick choice. In this part of the world, it's like more variety, and then I'll choose from that.
Right. This is all in terms of how your jewelry business is concerned, but interestingly, you're associated with a lot of other businesses. You're into restaurants, you do construction as well. That's what I read about you. What are the other things that you're interested in terms of business where you're actively involved in currently?
See, jewelry is where I spend most of my time in. I love animation. I used to love films. I used to love sound. So out of the passion, I started this institute called Seamless Education, where the idea was to have education which is seamless. It doesn't have any boundaries. So that's something which is a big company in Pune. It's now almost 9 years old.
Okay.
And we have presence in Bombay, Pune, and Bangalore, 3 centers, and where we teach students animation, gaming, filmmaking, sound engineering, and it's got a studio backup for every vertical.
Right.
So that's out of passion, which has turned into a good business now. And it's an independent company. I was separate CEO for the company.
What about restaurants? What about construction? What about investments?
So jewelry, so close to jewelry, we had a jewelry manufacturing facility, which is in Bombay here, where we do diamond jewelry manufacturing, and we kind of do the R&D for designs.
Okay.
So that's again a captive unit, which is only for PNG. That's a separate business. Restauranting was, love for food and love to party was where the restaurant business idea came from. So I have right now 2 restaurants in Pune. They were named of Post 91, which the idea was
Post 91
Young
mean?
India. So 91 was when India actually became convertible on capital account, and Young India evolved. So that's the whole idea behind Post 91. It's food for the young Indians, and it's got a bank.
So what is the closest to your heart out of all of these, apart from jewelry? That's your goal.
I think apart from jewelry, I like the film and animation studio setup. I think that's a break for me. When you're a lot of stress here, you're tired for a day, you just go and do photography.
So tell me one thing, how do you manage your work-life balance now that you're mentioning about stress? How many hours do you spend in terms of jewelry?
See, a lot of people ask how do you work-life stress. I just feel if you enjoy what you do, there's no stress. So PNG for me is like life. I live it, I breathe it, I enjoy it. There's nothing which really stresses me out.
Right.
I kind of spend one day, I keep it off completely. So Sundays normally I don't work. I spend time with the family, the kids at home, go for movies, meet friends, chill out. Beyond that, I think when you enjoy work, it's like a vacation always. And I literally mean it. There's a lot of travel involved. You meet people, you attend shows, you design, you just keep on. And all this is like for me, it's like mental rehabilitation. It kind of excites you, rejuvenates you. So for me, that's what really excites me. I love travel. So when people ask me how to travel so much, I say I love travel. So it's like going new places, meeting new people, seeing new designs, getting inspiration from not only jewelry but looking at art. Looking at inspiration from.
So yes, you do merge in your work-life balance over here, where you enjoy as well as continue with your work.
Anything is forced for you, you should not do that. This is what I really feel. Money can't be the only motivator for working.
Correct.
And if after money, when the satisfaction is there, money comes automatically. Success comes automatically. What you need is passion.
Right. Tell me something about Think Pure, because that's a book that's been written by your grandfather.
That's right.
What is it about?
So, like I told you, my grandfather's philosophy of life was, simple word was, think pure. Now, think pure doesn't just mean purity of, action. It means whatever you start with, if you have a purity of thought, in anything you do, you achieve success. And he used to always tell me that when I asked him, how did we achieve success in Pune? We came in a big city from Sangli. He said only thing he did was being honest. And it's about believing that what you're doing it in the most rightest way and for the right of people. So when objective is purity, it can mean, I think good about you.
Right. So that's the legacy that you're carrying as well.
So our tagline, Parampara Achhai Ki, is actually that. So I say, what is that we carry? It's Achhai.
Achhai. Last question over here coming in there. Firstly, you're the last generation that has come in here. Do you want your next generation to enter it? And what will be that one suggestion or inspiration that you would want to give the young Turks of today?
See, for my generation next, I always tell them that it's up to you. Like I always say, if you like it, do it. If you don't like it, if you don't connect with it, don't do it. Business will run. So today we are at a stage where businesses are almost like on autopilot mode. They are systemized, standardized, so it can run. I really feel that, okay, if they like it, if they have the passion, they should do it. And I say the same thing for young Turks today is, don't limit yourself by looking at the past. India is changing, world is changing very fast. So look at, what you think is right, what you think you can achieve, and then the sky is the limit.
So the sky is the limit. I mean, that's what Saurabh has to say. That sky is the limit for young Turks and for everyone. And enjoy your work-life balance. I think that's the takeaway for everyone.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.
We've got there's a grandmother who's bought for her wedding. We've got her daughter who came to us. And then, now her daughter is coming. So all these she's buying for her daughter-in-law. So there are generations, that kind of trust factors already established. So we do see a lot of generation after generation people coming to us.